everyone, good day to you all. Now in this video I'm going to talk about jewelries and why God doesn't want us to wear jewelries in our bodies and his temple. So we can see lots of example and symbolism in the Old Testament. Like for example in Ezekiel 16 we have read that the Lord dressed Israel, and Israel was symbolized as a woman taught by God, and give him fine jewelries, linen, and all other fineries. But as you know, it is only a symbolism, because God has given them his law and decree, which he has not given to any other nation, and that sets them apart, and that made them holy in the sight of God. That was the finery that God has given them. Yes, that was the jewelries that God has given them. And in other part of Ezekiel 16, the Israel gradually sinned against God. They became haughty, and wickedness was in their heart, and pride was in their heart. So he snatched away their finery, because God hates exaltation of the flesh, because it reflects what in the heart, and they have forgotten the jewelries that God given them, which is his law and commandment. And another example of jewelry can cause pride is about Lucifer. In Ezekiel 28 verse 13, you were in Eden, the garden of God, which precious stone adorn you. Many precious stones covered the body of Lucifer on that time, when he was a chief angel in heaven. And as he looked at his body, that pride took over his heart, and he now wanted the throne of God. That's why God has to banish him from heaven to earth, and has created hell for his angels too. That's why God doesn't want us to wear jewelries, because it exalts the heart, though it is only not big deal. But as you know, if you wear gold necklace or etc., you can be proudful of that thing, and make you look down on others. And others, the woman of Zion became proud of the finery, and they sin, it corrupt the heart and exalt the flesh, because jewelries can corrupt you, can put pride in your heart, and can exalt your flesh, and every pride shall be, and pride will be slaughtered in the depths of hell. So we don't want that. And another thing, as I said in Ezekiel 16, Israel was symbolized as a woman, and gave him finery. That was the commandment of God, and that makes her stand out among the nation, because God has commanded them to follow him, for them to be beautiful in God's holiness, sets apart from any other. That is the jewelry of God. You know, when you are holy, there's some light that makes you stand out among the others. That is the jewelry of God. The light, you are the light of the world, and the jewelry reflects light. And if in God's commandment in us, we will be light among other people. So in Psalm 93:5, God adorned Israel with jewelries. That jewelries represents the law. Yeah, that's what I have said earlier. Your status, Lord, stand firm. Holiness adorns your house for endless days. So in 93:5, holiness adorns his house for endless days. Holiness should adorn us. We are the temple of God, not jewelries of this earth, but jewelries of God, which is his commandment, his holiness. That is what pleases God, not jewelries of this earth, because it will perish along with all of the things that are in here. So in we can also see in 1 Peter 3 verse 3 to 4, your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyle and the wearing of gold jewelries or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, of unfading beauty of gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in the sight of God. So jewelries have no worth in God's sight. It is in us, it is in His holiness, with His law in us through the Holy Spirit. That is what counts in God's sight, not jewelries of this earth. No, we should shine with the law in us that we are allowing to manifest in our lives, and the people around us can see. That is what makes us stands out. No, that's what makes us women of God stands out, not mere adornment of the body such as jewelries. Jewelries are just for earthly women, not us, because when we die, we're not going to take it with us. Oh, now we are going to go to earrings. Why God don't want us to wear earrings? So in Exodus 21:6, then his master insists, take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door or a doorpost and pierce his ear with an awl. Then he will be his servant for life. So in here in Exodus, it is telling us that when a servant likes his owner, he will take an oath using his ear should be put an awl in it, and the blood of it will be a reminder in the doorpost of the master's house, and he will be his servant for life. So it is telling us that only servants wear earrings, and we are servant of God, and our indication that we are servant of God is the Holy Spirit, not earrings. Only the servant of Lucifer or the world wear earrings, but us, it is the Holy Spirit in us that is an indication that we are the servant of God. So only servant wear earrings. So question, Paul is a bond servant of Christ. Yes, Paul is a bond servant of Christ. So in Romans 2 verse 29, circumcision in the heart by the Spirit, not by written code. It is circumcision of the heart, the changes in your nature, the Holy Spirit in us. It is an indication that you are the servant of God, the bond servant of Christ. So servant of Christ is not, the indication is not physical, that our servanthood will be indicated, or it is marked by the Holy Spirit in our hearts. The same with circumcision. It is marked with the Holy Spirit. Our servanthood is marked with the Holy Spirit, not with physical indication. Again, now this time we're going to talk about wedding rings. So wedding rings, based on Malachi 2:14, you ask why. It is because the Lord is the witness between you and the wife of your youth. You have been unfaithful to her, though it is your partner, the wife of your marriage covenant. So it is the Lord that is the witness of your love between wife and husband. The Lord made you one. The Lord made you one in marriage. He is the witness of your marriage and your love. So replacing the Lord with replacing the Lord, symbolizing Him with anything, makes that thing an idol. So we don't need, and it is idolatry to replace the Lord with the ring, because even if there's so many couples, millions of couples out there, and every couple uses wedding ring, but most or not all are happily or have a successful marriage, because it is only God that binds the two souls together, and God is the witness of their marriage and love. God binds that two souls together, not the ring. God is the symbol. There's no need for symbolism as long as you are bonded by God. And that ring can make can be made into an idol. He is a jealous God. The fact that children of the world use rings as witness to symbolize their marriage does not mean that the disciple of Christ, who is not of the world, should do the same. Yes. Even if the majority of people use wedding rings, does not mean that we too. Is it mandatory for in the wedding ceremony to have rings? God is the witness. God is the bond that binds us. Bind two souls together, not the ring. So just like jewelry shine from within, we also has Christ who shines within us. The beauty of the jewelries or precious gold does not come from outside but within, just like children of God. So we are God's jewelries, God's diamond, God's gold, God's silver. So the beauty of a precious stone shines within, just like us. We shine within, with Christ within us, His law, His likeness, and makes us stand out among the rest of the people. We are God's jewelries in His hand. A jewelries does not need another jewelries. So we can say that jewelries does not please God. No vanity comes from God. Embellishment of the body corrupts the heart and corrupts the flesh. They reveal what is in the heart. Lucifer exalted himself because of the fine jewelries that he has seen in his body, and now where he is now, he is a rebel because of pride. Chain and necklaces symbolizes prison, just like earring symbolizes servanthood. If you are jeopardizing your salvation. The adornment of the world has no value to God, because all these things of the world will be burned with fire. What the adornment is to adorn themselves with obedience of His word. So our obedience as Christians, we adorn ourselves with obedience of His word, and the light of that adornment is our action that is different from the rest of the world. The spiritual adornment is love, obedience, purity, all the fruit of the Holy Spirit. That is our adornment. As you can see in the book of Galatians, the church who is adornment with His word shines a light. Every word which the church utters as if adorned with heavenly gems. Israel was changed to adorn itself with sanctification, not with idolatry. So if we adorn ourselves with this adornment, the jewelries of this world, then we are jeopardizing our salvation. We are undermining our salvation. No bride with adornment of Satan will enter God's kingdom. The adornment of the earth do not come from God. The adornment of God is the fruit of the Holy Spirit. That is simple as that. We don't need to copy the world, but we only need to copy what is written in the Bible, which is the custom of heaven, because we are heaven bound, and everything we have here will not go with us in paradise. So I pray that you pray to God with what you have learned from me today. Pray, discern with the Holy Spirit. I urge you, sisters, pray, because I am not perfect. I too came from that. I have many rings back then, necklace and earrings, but all of it gone because of the Holy Spirit's conviction. So I urge you, pray. So God bless us all. All the glory belongs to God.